Hello and welcome to the Critically Clueless. I'm the Monk, and in today's video we are back in Crusader Kings 3. This is a tips guide all about your lifestyle perks, the ones to kind of pick, the trees to go down, and why I would recommend them. At the end of the video we are looking at the absolute best perks that you can pick up along the way. We're going to go through the top 5 of those, but guys, bearing in mind there are 63 different perks or traits that we can kind of pick up. We're not going to be covering every single one of them because that would be an incredibly long video, but we are going to go along and talk about what I think are the best ones to look at when picking your lifestyle. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, find it entertaining, and want to see more Crusader Kings videos, then don't forget to hit that like button. And of course, subscribe to the channel. We also have an active and growing Discord, and the link for that will be down in the description. It'd be fantastic if you join the community and chat about your worries in this game. Now, when it comes to picking one of what you should focus on, I would go for Majesty Focus or Family Focus. Majesty Focus gives you the Prestige boost, and Family Focus gives you that Fertility boost. Now, the first perk point I would recommend getting to is under Diplomat, and this one actually gives us another reason to acquire land when waging war. The second one is actually on the opposite side. It's Defensive Negotiations. Fellow Vessel's opinion of you is a +15. Independent Ruler opinion of you is a +15. And you can propose one alliance without a marriage. This one can be really good just to get people to like you, and of course getting those all-important alliances. The next one under Diplomat is Flexible Truces. Having this gives you shorter truces and no prestige penalty for breaking them, meaning you can go back into war with a country and conquer another duchy faster than you would if you didn't have that. And also, Force Vesselage is very, very good, meaning you are able to use Force Vesselage Callous Bow, making them come underneath your reign. This is a very good one for expanding your territory. Moving on to August, you have got Benevolent Intent, and this is a 30% power increase for your schemes, for your sway schemes. So in other words, getting people to like you. If they like you, they're not going to try and kill you. Hopefully. Next up, we have Praetorian Guard. This one gives us a monthly prestige increase per night of 2%. Very useful. Prestige is very, very important in this game. Next up, we have Inspiring Rule. Monthly prestige per powerful vessel on the council is a +5%. Remember, they have to be on the council. The game will keep bugging you that they want to be on the council as well, so it kind of helps you out. And True Ruler gives you Offer Vesselization Acceptance 25, which is really helpful. Basically, August just gets you and helps you have more vessels and more control over people. Under Family, we have Befriend. This gives you the ability to make friends and gives you the Befriend scheme. The more friends you have, the better. Groom to Rule is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Children receive 1 to 3 extra skill points while being schooled. This means that all of your children, you can school them, give them more skill points, and they'll be better for you. And if we pop down to Friendly really quick, you can see each friend relations gives you 2 random skill points. So the more friends we have, the more skill points we have. So those two do go hand in hand. Of course, it's a lot of skill points to spend to get all the way down there, but it could be worth it. Especially as just underneath that you have Sound Foundations. Every living child gives you 1 random skill. So the more children you have, the more friends you have, the more skill points floating around. And of course, the more skill points floating around means the more effective you're going to be in your kingdom doing your stuff that you're doing. Moving on to Martial Lifestyle. Now, the one that I personally would pick is Authority Focus. The reason is really control. You get a 0.3 per month on control or towards control of, states that you hold, meaning you're going to have less uprises. Also, newly conquered ground is going to come under heel more quickly if you use Authority Focus. As a strategist, the first perk I would look for is Organized March, which is absolutely very, very important. Your movement speed is increased 5%, heavy infantry. Screen is a +5, spearman's got a +5, archery and skirmishers have got a +5. Basically, it means it gets you to move across the board a lot faster. And trust me, when you're having to chase down enemies or run away from them, Organized Marches could seriously save your life. Moving along to Engineered for Destruction, this one's very good again. Naval speed up 25%, siege weapon effectiveness up 40%. Having siege weapons is really good anyway because it shortens the amount of siege time it takes for you to take a castle. Having this up another 40% seriously can save you years in a war. And talking about your wars, living off the land increases your supply capacity 200%, meaning you can have those bigger armies, they've got more provisions, and they're not starving to death. Moving on to Overseer, we have Serve the Crown. You get a natural dread of 15, plus you get control of 0.3 per month, putting us up to 0.6 control per month. This can be very, very helpful, especially for people looking to expand very quickly. And again, we've got another control perk here, Strict Organization, increased control in county progress, which means when you get your marshal to kind of get a area under control, it's 20% effectiveness. I also like Prepared Conscription because you get army gold maintenance of a -15% and you get friendly territory levy enforcement rate plus 200%. This can be really good, especially for those people with the big armies, just to kind of quicken things up and of course make it a little bit easier on your wallet. Moving over to Gallant, we have Steward Leader. This basically means you have less risk of dying commanding an army, and it gives you a +4 in prowess, meaning you're going to be chopping people in half quicker than a heartbeat. The next perk I like on this line is actually Promising Prospects. I think it's a pretty good one. Mainly because it's talking to you about marriages. This is all about marriages, marriage acceptance for yourself. So you can look for someone that you want to marry and you got a +50, which is quite a big bonus for getting the woman you want or the man you want. But you also get the +25 in close family and extended family as well. And of course, next up, we have Loyalty and Respect. This gives the spouse opinion view +50, but more importantly, the skills from the spouse as a counselor task is a +25%, meaning that she can help out more effectively wherever you may need her to fill in. More often than not, unfortunately, I will have a council member die through battle or possibly old age, and you don't necessarily have someone immediately to fill in with the stats that you need. This helps get your partner, your queen, to kind of come in and fill in a little bit. And I find Peacemaker a great perk because it's a +10 to peace acceptance, meaning you can get those wars won and done sooner rather than later. Now, the Stewardship Lifestyle is one of my favorite. This is absolutely brilliant for growing income, and the one I would pick is Well Focused, just because you get that 10% plus on income, which can be really, really helpful. Moving on to the first skill tree that we actually have, the first one is Golden Obligations, which is absolutely brilliant. You can demand payment for hooks. I cannot begin to tell you just how much money I have made simply for selling hooks that I have gathered on people. You gather a lot of hooks in this game, or you can do, and if you're not going to use them, you might as well sell them for a gold. Sometimes up to 100 gold coins, or even more depending on who the hook is actually on. The next one again is money related. Your vessel tax contribution is +10%, or the vessels under you are going to pay you 10% more. If you become a bigger kingdom, this can seriously add up to some serious money. And then the third one I want to talk about is another finance option, War Profiteer. Monthly income while at war is +10%. You may notice while you're at war, you're going into minus money. Well, that's because wars are expensive. With this, not as much. And again, while we're on the subject of money, we can't not talk about the tax man. With this, we collect taxes effectiveness plus a 25% boost, meaning we are going to get more money just by having 1 point here. If we go down to organized muster rolls, I quite like this too because levy reinforcement rates is plus 100%, making it quicker to get your forces. And then lastly here, I wanted to point out divided attention. This gives us a domain limit of +2, meaning we can hold more areas of land without going over our limit because we just increased our limit for a +2. I honestly hate getting the debuff when I have too much land. It happens too much, and I also hate parting with it. So for me, I really like that. Under administration, the first one we need to talk about is large levies. Now with large levies, you get vessel levy contribution plus 20%. Now normally you have to alter their contracts to get more levies from them. This way you don't need to, which means you don't need to use that hook. And of course you get more or a bigger army because of it. And of course the bigger your army, the more people you're able to conquer. So it really does go well if you're looking for that bigger focus when it comes to conquering. The next one we want to talk about is toe the line. This one is your vessels are less likely to join independent factions, meaning they're happier, they're kind of happier, and you're kind of putting them underhill, making sure they don't go against you. Next up, we have Intrigue. That's right, we have Intrigue next. And the one that I would kind of look for on your focus would be Temptation Focus. Now, the reason I would pick that is for the fertility. I think a plus 25 in fertility is really good. You also have the attraction plus 10. And of course, you've got your seduction scheme power up 20 as well. And while we're talking about fertility, if we go to the seducer, you can see like weeds, we also get a plus 30% on fertility here as well. I mean, we've got a plus 50%, guys, just by putting a point here and working on this for a little minute. And of course, the more fertile you are, the more babies you are going to be having. So if we go over to Torturer, Dark Insights is pretty cool because when you torture someone, you have a 50% chance to gain 1 intrigue or 1 prowess, meaning, again, we're going to be getting more stats on our character. Having 5 extra points in prowess is definitely not going to be hurting us on the battlefield. However, religion is definitely something you don't want to ignore in this game, and divine retribution means that you're not going to lose any opinion with the clergy when you're torturing or executing people. And I think one of my favorite ones, especially as I tend to play like a martial type of lifestyle, I do a lot of conquering, is of course fear tax. This one, if any vessel is intimidated, terrified, you're going to be getting more gold and more levy contribution just by being you, just by having a high dread. Vessels are going to be intimidated, they're going to be terrified, meaning they're going to be paying you more money, and of course offering you a bigger and better army. And lastly, we have the learning lifestyle. This is the last lifestyle that we haven't talked about just yet. Now, we do have the tree when it comes to looking at the faith. And if you want to go deep into that kind of play style, then this is definitely going to be the one for you. But when it comes to the lifestyle focus, the one I personally would choose is medicine focus, just because of the small health boost. Having a bigger health boost, or bigger health, better health, being healthier is definitely the way to go in this game. Plus you also get the +1 to learning as well, so that doesn't actually hurt. Now, the first perk I would actually look on picking up is actually Wash Your Hands. It sounds simple enough, but apparently people didn't actually understand it back then. However, if we do it, you get a reduced chance of contracting illnesses, and you get a reduced chance of your court of catching illnesses as well. It's very, very useful. Also underneath it, you've got Iron Constitution, which is disease resistance with fertility and health, giving us a massive health boost, which is absolutely brilliant. Also underneath that as well, you also have Nice and Healthy, which is a medium health boost. And all of this can seriously extend the life of whoever you're playing as. I've used this many times, often getting up to ages of the late 90s, guys. Just by having these things in place seriously helps your character live longer. Now, under the Scholar line, this perk is really good because your wards, the ones that you're teaching, get additional skills and have a chance to become your friends. This all kind of goes hand in hand with some of the perks that we spoke about earlier. Next up, we have planned cultivation, which is brilliant because it increases development in your county, effectiveness of +20, which means that your cultures are going to be developing, your technologies are going to be developing a lot quicker with this perk. And lastly, sanctioned loopholes is just a brilliant perk. With sanctioned loopholes, you can use to buy claims. You literally can buy yourself county claims and stuff like that, meaning you can expand and making sure you actually have a right to these wars. It's very easy just to buy a claim than to fabricate one. Buying it is instant, fabrication takes time. Next up, we're on the top 5 perk trait cards that we can kind of get, and in 5th place is Overseer. Overseer is brilliant. Again, you get a +2 in Martial, +2 in Stewardship, and you get a +50% control growth. Again, we spoke about how important it is to have good control. Well, Overseer will make sure that every country that we take over kind of toes the line and doesn't uprise, which is really helpful. In 4th place, the trait I would recommend picking up is Patriarch. This is very good. Patriarch gives you a +10 in House Opinion, a +15 in Close Family, +20% in Fertility, and a +20 or -20% on Stress, which can be really helpful because, unfortunately, high stress leads to early death. So if you have to do a lot of executions or things that perhaps your character doesn't want to do, that's going to equal to a lot of stress. This will mean that you don't actually end up dying of a very young age through stress. In 3rd place, we have Torturer. You get a +4 in Prowess, which is brilliant. You get a +50% in Dread Gain. You get a +20% in Hostile Schemes, meaning those little murder schemes you like to do. And you get a +10% in Levy Size, meaning you're going to have a bigger army. Again, Torturer, I do quite like going down this line. I am kind of naughty in my playthroughs. So for me, Torturer is just a total winner. And next up, we are going to have to go back to the learning lifestyle. In 2nd place, we have Whole Body. This trait gives us a 0.5 health boost. More health is always good. A +25% to Fertility. Again, at this rate, we're going to be pumping out babies like no tomorrow. And again, a -25 in Stress. Now, we just talked about how important stress is. Extending your dynasty is absolutely brilliant with Fertility, and of course that health boost will help you stay longer in this game. And in 1st place, we have Scholar, guys. Scholar is in the learning lifestyle. Again, you get a +5 to all learning. You get a +15 in development. You get +5 in hostile schemes, and you also get a +10 in personal schemes. So like befriends or swaying, even romances. Scholar is actually brilliant for boosting that intrigue. And there we go, guys. They are my top 5 traits I would recommend picking up. We've covered pretty much every perk that I think is the best one to at least look at early game. And yeah, I'm sure that I have missed an awful lot of perks, but as you can imagine, there's a lot of perks to actually go through. If I've missed your favorite, let me know down in the comments. If you have found this video helpful or useful, don't forget to drop a like and a sub to the channel. We also have that Discord as well, guys. I'd like to get as many people in the community as possible to join. That way we can chat about it and grow as a community. And as ever, I've been a monk and we've been a Critically Clueless, and I will see you in the next video real soon. Until then, guys, take it easy, and of course, happy gaming.